Hey everyone, we're really glad you've taken a step to start a group. I'm Tony Collier, and I'll be your host throughout this study. At the beginning of any small group, it really helps for everyone to be on the same page about what they expect. People join groups for different reasons. Some want to study the Bible, others want to make new friends, and some people want to connect with others who face the same challenges they do, from marriage to parenting, relationships, career, even finance. But a small group isn't any one of those things. We think it should be all of them. The goal of a group is to provide everyone the opportunity to pursue authentic community and spiritual growth. So while a group isn't a Bible class, you will read the scriptures together, talk about how to apply them to your life, you'll pray together, and even wrestle with big questions of faith. A group isn't a support group either, where you just vent your emotions. As you open up about what's really going on in your life, you'll give the other members of your group permission to help you grow. And they'll do that by encouraging you as you figure out next steps and keep you accountable as you take them. Finally, while a group isn't just a social gathering, you will make friends. And the relationships you build in this circle will be a foundation for encouraging and challenging one another to grow in your relationship with God. In group, friends aren't a nice add-on. They're essential, because you can't grow spiritually unless you're connected relationally. As we move through this study, we'll explore authentic community and spiritual growth, how they're connected, and how to pursue them as a group. And in the next few moments, Andy Stanley is going to talk more about how this group has the potential to change the course of your lives.
Well, congratulations on joining a group. For some of you, this is your first group. For others of you, you've been in group before. Sandra and I have been in a lot of groups. In fact, we joined our first group 25 years ago. And our first group wasn't part of a church program. In fact, we didn't even know what to call our group. We didn't even call it a small group. We just started meeting with several other couples in our home. Now, we had plenty of friends. In fact, Sandra and I both had mentors. Everything was fine in our marriage. But we knew something was missing. And what was missing, even though we didn't have the word at the time, was community. We weren't intentionally tracking with any other couples. Nobody was tracking with us. We weren't praying with anybody other than just praying as a couple. So we circled up with a few other couples, and some amazing things happened. In that very first group, we celebrated the birth of a child. We locked arms with a couple that was facing infertility. We were there for a gentleman in our group who lost his job while we were in our group together. We were there for a couple who almost lost their marriage. And we were moved to tears when one of the men in our group actually crossed the line of faith at one of our group meetings. Those 18 months were so defining that Sandra and I have been in a group ever since. And that's why I'm so glad you decided to take this step into community. Rows are great, but as you've heard me say before, circles are better. We really do believe that circles are better than rows, and here's why. Group, or a circle, is where you're both known and grown. The other thing is this: often it takes sitting in a circle and discussing content to figure out how to apply what you learn sitting in a row on Sunday. Group gives you the regular opportunity to ask those hard questions, and at times maybe even say, you know what, I'm not buying it. But here's the thing, if you will simply lean in and participate, group really will be a catalyst for your spiritual growth. Now, Solomon, who is considered by some to be the wisest man who ever lived, he made an observation about relationships that I think goes right to the heart of why group life is so important. Here's what he writes. In the book of Ecclesiastes, he says this: two are better than one. Why? Because they have a good return for their labor. And then he illustrates it. He says this: if either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who has no one to help them up. Think about this. Have you ever seen someone fall financially? Have you ever watched a marriage crumble? Have you ever seen a friend stumble morally? Or maybe someone's faith implode because of serious illness or some other tragedy? What if it was you? What if it was your marriage? What if it was your health, your career, your faith? Other than family, who would be there for you? So here's the thing. Over the next 12 to 18 months, the people in the circle you're sitting in right now will be the people who are there for you if something like that were to happen. They will be the ones who will ask, hey, are you okay? Are you okay really? And they will not accept, I'm fine, when they know that you're not. And here's the other great thing. You're going to have an opportunity to return the favor. Not because you have to, not because you're supposed to. It will happen naturally. That is the nature of group life. The bottom line is this: there are things that can happen in circles that can't happen any other way. And that's by design. You can't grow spiritually unless you are connected relationally. God created you. He created all of us for community. and you've already taken the most important first step. So congratulations, you are about to discover what many of us have known for a long time. Life really is better connected.
We hope this group becomes a community that supports your spiritual growth. And that means your role is to show up, join in, and be real. Show up means making group a priority. If you don't show up, not only will you miss out, but also someone else will miss out on what you have to bring. By join in, we mean speak up, ask your question, come prepared, be active in this group. And finally, be real. Let the people in your group know what's really going on. Give them permission not to accept this as an answer. I'm fine. If you do those three things, God can use the members of this group to grow you and use you to grow them. So for the rest of this meeting, you're gonna have a conversation about Andy's message, and in the process, you'll get to know each other better. At this point, if your group already has a leader, you're done with this video and you can start the discussion in your guide. The next couple of minutes is for any group without a leader. And just so you know, you're not starting off on the wrong foot because you don't have a leader. Right now, you should focus on getting to know each other, and before the end of the study, you'll nominate someone within the group to lead. Now, since your group started without a leader, let's talk about what a great group leader is and why it's important to have one. A leader isn't the boss of the group, but they do keep the group on track. A leader makes sure every group member has the opportunity to grow spiritually, even though group members may be in different places. A leader doesn't do everything by themselves. It's not up to your leader to always host group meetings, lead discussions, plan socials, or set up service projects. Those are group-owned tasks shared by everyone, which we'll talk more about that in the next few weeks. But a leader does serve the group. This idea comes directly from Jesus. Matthew's gospel talks about a time when Jesus' disciples were arguing over who would get to sit closest to him. They were fighting over position and prestige. And here's what Jesus said: "Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." Jesus called his disciples to create a community that's different than the communities in the world around us. He called them to serve one another. Being a group leader isn't about position or prestige. It's about posture. The best group leaders are humble, teachable, curious, and intentional. So let's walk through those. Humble means a leader understands they're not the most important person in the group. They don't have to have it all together. They're still growing spiritually as well. Teachable people have a spirit that says, I always have more to learn about myself, others, and God. Teachable leaders actively pursue ways to grow and learn. Curious means a genuine interest and concern for others. Curious leaders prioritize getting to know the people around them over being heard. Intentional means viewing each interaction in group as an opportunity to invest in the lives of others and to grow in relationship with God. Okay, to recap, we have humble, teachable, curious, and intentional. As you get to know the people in your group, keep an eye out for these qualities. They'll be important in nominating your leader. There's a section in the back of your guide specifically designed for groups without leaders. It will help you know what makes a great group leader, and in a few weeks, we'll help you nominate someone to lead. But for now, you're set. Someone in your group start the discussion using the questions you found in your guide.